And welcome back to World of Warships with your host, X-Brad TC. Went out in a division last night with Lieutenant Rusty and his son, Snakebite. Basically, I accomplished nothing. Early on in the battle, I ran into a trio of Soviet or Russian Svetlana class cruisers and was blown out of the water. One little Kamikaze destroyer trying to take on three Soviet cruisers usually doesn't do well. Snakebite followed me pretty quickly. I think he at least hit something during the battle, but he was pretty quickly killed. As you can see, the battle's been running for some time now, 12 minutes in. Rusty's still alive, pretty badly damaged. He's attempting to support our carrier here, defend our carrier. He's not quite going to make it, but he's going to have a pretty good run here for about a minute, minute and a half, facing these three ships over here. The guns on the Kamikaze are terrible. Everybody knows that. So what you're going to see is actually pretty interesting. He's going to take the torpedo shot, and he's going to miss. This cruiser driver is not bad. He knows what he's doing. But he's not great either. Rusty actually, since the guns are pointed there, goes ahead and shoots at him. He's terribly low health. Couple more hits. Rusty's in bad shape. Can't quite get the torpedoes loaded in time. Guns are loaded, might as well use them. And one more barrage will do it. So it's not often you actually see a Kamikaze get a gun kill. But now the torpedoes are loaded. So the next cruiser is going to eat a barrage of torpedoes. 3 spreads, 2 each, very fast. Rusty's dodging the oncoming torpedoes. There's the second kill. There's a friendly destroyer off to the left, kind of spraying the torpedoes around, not paying enough attention to make sure that Rusty isn't in the spread. But Rusty's a pretty good destroyer driver and dodges everything with ease. A little bit of a different challenge here. This is a very, very nearly full health Wyoming. Look at Rusty. He is only 3,800 health left. Gets the torpedoes out, but he's detected. Takes a bad hit. The Wyoming driver isn't dumb. He knows there's torpedoes in the water. He knows the Japanese destroyer is going to be putting torps in the water. So he turns. Rusty, the guns are pointing, might as well use them. He's already detected. He's not going to do much damage, but he might have set a fire. But, more importantly, he's not going to miss with the next spread of torpedoes. And by approaching from the bow, he avoids most of the secondary battery. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's done. Nice ambush. Rusty goes on later on after the enemy destroyer and cruiser up there. He does manage to get sunk before the end of the battle. I mean, look how much health he's got left, 441. Yeah, the enemy managed to sink him here in a little bit, but he had a pretty good outing. Nine gun hits, 5 torpedo hits, 3 ships sunk in about a minute. Next up, after that battle, we decided to go out in our Atlantas. Rusty, Snake, and myself. And to start the battle, we're going to escort a battleship here for a little bit. The enemy has a carrier, so we'll provide a little anti-aircraft coverage for him. So we're just kind of tooling along at 3/4 speed. I want to get in nice and tight with this guy to make sure he's well under my my coverage, the roughly 5-kilometer range for air defense that the Atlanta has. And you look up and you see a torpedo squadron and 2 dive bomber squadrons. They see a trio of Atlantas. Nope. They ran right away. They turned and ran. That was one of the funniest things I've seen playing that didn't involve actually shooting at somebody. They wanted no part of trying to attack this formation. As you can see, the enemy's coming around the headlands there. Battleship's got his rounds out. I don't have very good range in the Atlanta. I've got about an 11-kilometer range for the guns. Rusty has the advanced firing training commander skill, so he gets a 20% boost. Rusty and Snake are both on my port quarter. Trying to get into range to shoot at these guys. There's a Japanese cruiser and a Japanese battleship, and I believe the cruiser's an Otago. I'm not sure. But as soon as we get into range, we'll start lighting them up, because that's what we do. By the way, that's just about the only time we would actually see enemy airplanes. You'll see one more strike, and I do get some airplane kills later on. But I was so busy that I didn't really concentrate on it. And I believe that's a Japanese Fuso battleship. Rusty's already firing on him, getting good hits. I'm opening up. No, terrible shot. Way too much lead. See the rounds coming down well ahead of them. I shift my aim and start lighting them up. We're going to get some hits out of this. Oh, maybe try not to run aground. There we go. And once you have the aim, it's easy. Just keep pouring the fire in. The guns on this are stupid fast. They reload so quickly. There's so many of them. The turret's rotation speed is very good. You can just keep pouring high explosive into Japanese battleships or any other battleships. Oh, torpedoes in the water. Might want to take a look and make sure I'm not going to get hit. Slow down, turn. It's going to be close, but I got away with it. Might want to look and see who's shooting at me. Oh, Japanese destroyer back there. I hate destroyers. Actually, that's a Mahan, not a Japanese destroyer. It's the American Tier 7. So try and get some rounds on him. Very quickly, as he opens the range, it becomes a much more difficult target. So yeah, it's worth shooting at him, but probability of hitting him with these 5-inch 38s is pretty low. That's one of the big faults with Atlanta, is the rounds have such low velocity, they take forever to get to the target. So yeah, ignore him. Had a little bit of a traffic jam there. Rusty and Snake managed to collide with each other. I just about got in there with them. And in the meantime, I've actually gotten out of range with the Fuso. I looked over there. There's the destroyer, and then there's 3 cruisers. I want no part of that. I'm heading over here. I'm going to shoot at this guy. If he's dumb enough to just sit there on the border, I'm happy enough to just pour rounds into him. Look at that. Round after round after round. And every time I go out in the Atlanta, it always happens. There's someone who's dumb enough to let us just sit there and pound them like this. Dude, I mean, it's not that hard to dodge shell fire from an Atlanta. Turn once in a while and use your speed. He's actually started shooting at me, which makes me very unhappy. I want to shoot back, but more importantly, I want to make sure I miss these torpedoes. In doing that, I've exposed my broadside to the battleship. That's not good. Very bad. I'm going to pay for that. As you see, I've already lost half my health. Look at his health. He's done. He just doesn't know it. certainly not the only one who's shooting at this guy. So I'm getting good rounds on him. And I got the kill. Take a moment to assess the situation. That Snake on the right, Rusty on the left. Take a look. Rusty is down to less than 1,000 points on his health. He's in bad shape. We're not really eager to go cruiser hunting and risk losing Rusty just now. About that time, I spot the destroyer again. Try and get some rounds on him as he scurries away. I miss. He's shooting over the headland and actually landing rounds on me. Very annoying. My hand's a good little ship. As always, when I'm teamed up in a division with Rusty and Snake or pretty much anyone, we're actually using a voice chat system, an app called Discord. Let me tell you, it makes it so much easier to coordinate the actions of a group, of a division, when you actually have voice communications rather than trying to type in the chat. So Snake dodged that spread of torpedoes, and torpedoes ran out of steam before they got to the New Mexico, so we got lucky there. And there's the destroyer again. I don't like that guy, so I'm going to go kill him. And more importantly, he's going to cap on our base, so we really have to get over there. Unfortunately, the New Mexico is going to be a bit of a problem here. He wants to go cruiser hunting, and then he wants to go destroyer hunting, and then he wants to go cruiser hunting again. And I'm trying to get to the destroyer as fast as I can, and I can't. I can't really, I don't want to say I blame the battleship captain. I mean, he's busy doing his thing. He's a contributing member of the team, as it were. Man, he's making it hard for me to go kill that destroyer. Slow down, turn, pass the stern, and bump the speed back up. Destroyer's in our cap. He's laid a smoke screen. Appeared briefly. We're just going to spam the smoke in hopes of getting lucky. Hey, it's the rounds load so fast, might as well. We're not going to get lucky, but we'll at least give the enemy something to think about as he watches shells flash all over the place. Now he's laid that smoke screen, but we're getting closer and closer, and the smoke screen's not going to last forever. And you'll notice on the far side is a Soviet shore, I can't even pronounce it, shore cruiser. Very impressive. Keep an eye on him. You'll see some interesting shooting from him in a little bit. Continue to spam. I'm at this point I'm hoping to just get a lucky hit to reset the cap. Torpedoes in the water, that's why I'm only shooting with my bow guns. But it turns out he was shooting the other, the score cruiser. And now that we can spot the destroyer, he is totally screwed. Either Snake or Rusty got the kill, but the important thing is we reset the cap. Enemy airstrike coming in. They're concentrating on the Soviet cruiser. Oh, look. There's the enemy carrier. We quickly decide we want to go hunting after him. But watch this cruiser's gunfire. This is really impressive. Look how flat the trajectory is on that. You can't help but get a hit when you can shoot that flat. It's very easy to see where your rounds are spotting. He's very quickly going to kill this carrier before we even get a look at him. I'm very impressed by that. And I believe that's the Soviet Tier 7 cruiser. Still two ships on the enemy team. Rusty and Snake and I talk about it. Rusty is, like I said, less than 1,000 health left. So he's going to trail behind a little bit. But we're definitely going to go hunting for the enemy. We're actually at this point talking about going to try and cap on the enemy base. In the southwest corner, you'll see our battleship is taking out one enemy ship just now, so that leaves just one bad guy, and he's over there by his own cap. So we're going to go chase after him. We don't know he's there, but we have a pretty good idea. There he is. He showed up on the map a little bit. Nice little shot of the division in formation. Not often we get a chance to sail together like that. The shores, whatever, this Russian cruiser is heading to the right, and I want to generate angular separation from him. I want to get away from him. I'm trying to close the range on the battleship to open fire, but I also want it so that the battleship has to face a choice. Who is he going to shoot at? And hopefully it won't be me. I don't want him to be able to quickly shift fire from one target to the other. And as I'm watching the battleship, he is going from right to left, and I'm kind of getting the bright idea, well, maybe I'll duck behind this island, use it for cover, and zip into torpedo range, because the Atlanta has torpedoes. They're not very good torpedoes. They only have a 4.5 kilometer range, but they're torpedoes. And if nothing else, getting in close, I can plaster this guy with a lot of shells very quickly. So I'm going to try and zip through this channel and ambush this guy. And hey, might as well try and get a few shots in as well. They're going to miss, but it doesn't hurt to try. And I think I'm thinking I'm pretty slick here, setting up this ambush. But as it turns out, when he reappears, I notice pretty quickly that he's actually turned. And there's Rusty and Snake firing. You can see their shells pouring in. And they're getting a lot of damage done. And I decide, well, if he's not going to go to the far side of the island, I need to turn and get back in the fight and get some rounds on this guy. And just as I'm getting ready to open fire on him, he dies. Interestingly, this is the first time in a long time I've been out in Atlanta, in a division of Atlantis. All of us survived, and all of us got a kill. Nobody did anything spectacular, but it was a good, solid game. Alright, that's it for this week's World Warships. We'll catch you later.